Your time is now. Not tomorrow, not when the circumstances align, not when they approve or when the world makes room for you. Now, this present moment is the only moment that holds power. Everything that ever was and ever will be lives inside this now and within you. You have been waiting, haven't you? Waiting for a sign, for a shift, for permission. But I tell you, the sign is not coming. You are the sign. You are the shift. You are the permission you seek. All that you desire, you already possess, if only you would dare to assume it. The only distance between you and your highest life is the distance between belief and realization. The instant you accept your desire as already fulfilled, it is yours. Do not look outside for evidence. Evidence will lie to you. The senses will whisper of delay, of impossibility, of lack. But imagination speaks of truth, and truth does not wait for facts. It creates them. You are not meant to sit and hope. You are meant to enter the state of the wish fulfilled, to become the one who already is, the one who already has. Let go of becoming as something far off. Instead, become in consciousness now. What you are conscious of being, you outpicture in your world. If you are conscious of lack, lack will find you. If you are conscious of abundance, it will rush to you. The outer is always the servant of the inner. The world reflects your inner speech, your silent assumptions, your daily imaginal acts. So dare to feel now what you would feel if all were already accomplished. Dare to walk in the state as if it were already so. You do not need more time. Time is not your master. You are not preparing for your future. You are calling it into the present. And what you persist in imagining, what you claim with feeling, must externalize. So stop waiting. Waiting implies separation. Waiting delays the miracle. Start being now. Now become the version of yourself who is no longer in hope, but in possession. Feel it real, and the world will conform. This is not magic. It is law. What you consent to inwardly must express outwardly. It cannot fail. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and trust the unseen hand to bring about its perfect unfolding. All things are yours when you stop postponing your own power. Your time is not coming. Your time is. It is here, it is now, and you are the one you've been waiting for. There is nothing to earn, no worthiness to acquire. You have always been worthy. The delay has never been in the giving, but in your receiving. Your hesitation to believe has clothed itself in time, in waiting, in preparation. But now strip all of that away and step into your divine inheritance. You do not need more lessons, more confirmations, more delays dressed up as development. What you need is recognition. Recognition of who you already are. You were told the kingdom is within you. Not in the stars, not in the opinions of others, not in some far-off day when conditions are ideal. The kingdom is consciousness. And when you turn within and claim it, the world outside rearranges itself in obedience to that inner decree. No man can keep from you what you have accepted within. No system can deny what you have embodied. For reality bends to the one who dares to believe. For is given unto the imagination. You imagine morning and you rise. You imagine hunger and you act. You imagine limitation and it becomes a war. Likewise, you imagine freedom and the chains fall away. You are not bound by anything but your own consent. You can change the entire script of your life simply by withdrawing attention from what is and placing full focus on what you choose to be. This is not pretending in the weak sense. It is not make-believe. It is creation. You are not wishing for something. You are assuming it is already so. And in that assumption lies transformation. When you feel yourself to be wealthy, to be loved, to be whole, the world is compelled to reflect it. It must, for the world is not separate from you. It is your mirror, your shadow, your echo. But how long will you live in denial of this truth? How long will you defer your becoming to a future that never arrives? There is no power in delay. Power lives in decision, in conviction, in the quiet but steady assumption that it is done. Not will be done, not may be done, done. Final, settled, complete. You reflect? You have perhaps waited for a feeling, a sign of readiness, but the feeling you wait for is born from the assumption not before it. When you decide that you are now the one who has, the one who is, the feeling will follow, just as light follows the flipping of a switch. But if you wait for the light to arrive before you act, you remain in darkness. Do not seek to manipulate the outer world. It is clay in your hands. Shape it inwardly. All change begins within. You do not rise by changing people or conditions or events. You rise by changing state, and your state is governed by what you accept as true about yourself. Accept a higher truth, claim a greater identity, assume a richer story, and live from it, not toward it, from it. Every desire you feel is a whisper from your higher self, a call to rise to a new state of being. You are not chasing desires, you are being summoned by them. Each longing is an invitation to awaken, to remember what is already yours. That thing you want is not outside of you, it is already part of you in consciousness. And consciousness is the only true substance of reality. When you identify with your desire, you fuse with it. When you think from it, not of it, you activate its expression. Your role is not to strive or to struggle, but to embody, to imagine so vividly and consistently that the imaginal becomes inevitable. Your world outpictures what you persistently accept in your inner conversations. What are you saying to yourself when no one is listening? That is your prayer. That is your decree. You rise not by waiting, but by identifying, by selecting the version of you that already lives the life you long for and wearing it like a garment. Feel it wrap around you. Let it become familiar and persist until it becomes second nature. Then, what the world calls miracles will simply become your norm. All transformation is self-transformation. You can only experience what you are in harmony with. This is not punishment or reward, it is law. And you have been given full authority to choose your harmony, your alignment, your identity. Stop asking if you're ready. You are. You always have been. The only readiness you need is the willingness to step in, to believe, to claim. The world does not respond to need. It responds to conviction. You must know that you are the one, that you are chosen, not by fate, not by chance, but by consciousness itself. The moment you know, all things move in accordance. It will look like coincidence, like fortune, like magic, but it is none of those. It is the law playing out with mathematical precision. Time will try to convince you that you're not there yet, but time is a servant, not a master, and you are not bound by the timeline you inherited or the pace others choose. You can collapse time by assumption, by seeing the end and living from it now. The end is where you begin. The end is your launching point. Begin at the fulfilled desire and work backward only in imagination. When you dare to declare it done in consciousness, the physical will catch up. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. You are always becoming something. The question is, are you becoming by default or by design? Are you reacting to appearances or are you creating from within? Choose this day who you shall be. You do not need conditions to change before you assume the new state. The new state causes the conditions to change. Do not be fooled by appearances. They are shadows of your past consciousness. If you want to know what you've been assuming, look around. But if you want to know what will be, look within. The seeds you plant today in imagination will become your harvest tomorrow in form. Stop waiting for the door to open. You are the door. When you walk as though it is done, the path reveals itself. The people show up. the opportunities arise, but not before you move in faith. Faith is not hoping. Faith is the bold inner knowing that what you have imagined is more real than what you see. Be Smith to yourself from the end. Let your inner dialogue match the life you are choosing. Talk to yourself as one who already is. I am, not I will be. I have, not I hope. Let every thought and word be soaked in the vibration of fulfillment. That is the great secret. To feel it real, to feel from it, not for it. You are not striving to become something better. You are awakening to what has always been true. Beneath every limitation, every delay, every doubt, there is the truth of who you are. And who you are is powerful beyond measure. Not someday, now. You are the creator of your world, and your world is waiting on your recognition. Walk as if the thing is done, and the world will bend. Think as the version of you who already has it, and everything will rearrange itself to reflect that inner shift. Don't look to the clock. Don't count the days. Count only your assumptions. Track only your states. It is not about time. It is about alignment. There is nothing to strive for when you know it is already yours. You need only walk in the confidence of fulfillment. You need only persist in the assumption. And every bridge will appear. Every so-called coincidence will line up in perfect order. There is no delay in the realm of the spirit, only the illusion of delay created by disbelief. So let go. Let go of the old self, the one who waits, who begs, who hopes. That self has no power. Step into the I am, the God within, the one who chooses and knows it is done. That self walks with certainty, speaks with authority, lives from the end. And as you sustain that self, the old must fall away. It cannot stay. Dawani. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. If you want something new, you must become someone new. Not through effort, but through identity. Through this silent assumption again and again until it becomes automatic, natural, effortless. That is the way. This moment is your door. This breath, this thought, this choice now is the axis point of all reality. Nothing is holding you back but the story you are telling. Change the story and the world changes with it. Speak it, feel it, own it, become it. Now, you have spent long enough studying the path, long enough analyzing the how, the when, the sequence of events. But the map you are searching for is not written in external lines or plotted with visible coordinates. It is etched in your own being. The way is made by walking in the assumption of the fulfilled desire. The way reveals itself to the one who moves in inner certainty, who no longer asks, how will it come, but declares, it is already mine. Do not let your five senses rule your life. They are servants, not sovereigns. They report what has already been imagined and accepted in the past. But they cannot testify to what is being conceived now, in this sacred moment. What you see, hear, and touch is the echo, not the cause. The cause lies in the unseen, in the imaginal act, in the sustained feeling that what you desire is already your reality. That is the truth that sets you free. You are not sent here to react. You are sent to create. You are not made to live by appearances, but by inner conviction. Reality responds to the one who knows, not the one who pleads, who begs, who waits for confirmation, but to the one who claims their end as now, who inhabits the feeling, who moves, speaks, and breathes, as one who already possesses the thing. Nothing is outside of you. All that you call outside is a projection, a reflection, a mirror of your state of consciousness. Change your concept of self, and your entire world will rearrange itself to match. It does not matter what has been. It does not matter what others say. Their voices hold no power over the one who walks in inner authority. Let them speak. Let the facts scream their protest. Let the evidence contradict you. And still, you persist. You hold your inner vision as law. That is faith. That is power. There is no merit in delay. There is no virtue in struggle. You are not made to climb and crawl and strain to receive what is already yours. The Father has already given it. It is yours for the taking. You need only claim it, not with effort but with knowing. It is not about earning, it is about accepting, not about striving, but resting in the conviction that what you imagine with feeling is your true inheritance. If you believe you must wait, then you create the experience of waiting. If you believe it is hard, then difficulty will greet you at every turn. But if you believe it is done, if you feel that truth and walk in it, then the universe must mirror that belief back to you. It is not a question of if, but when you will allow yourself to receive. Stop delaying your own arrival. Stop postponing your own greatness. There is no outside force holding you back. There is only the identity you continue to wear. And identities are chosen, not imposed. Choose now to wear the new self, to identify with the version of you who no longer waits, who no longer hopes, but who knows. And from that knowing, all things come. You may ask, but what if I imagine and nothing happens? Then I ask you, what are you imagining after that first act? Are you remaining in the end, or are you wavering? Are you rehearsing the new story, or are you defaulting back to the old? Do not just touch the state, abide in it, dwell in it, let it possess you. Let it become your natural home, and as surely as night follows day, the outer world will conform. Persistence is the key, not frantic repetition, but quiet conviction. A calm, sustained inner certainty that overrides the noise of delay. Be still inwardly. Stop arguing with appearances, they are temporary. The eternal thing is your assumption. If you would dwell in the state of the fulfilled desire long enough, the outer must bow. The bridge of incidents will appear, the pieces will come together, and it will feel as though life is conspiring in your favor, because it is. You need not know the sequence, you need not figure out the steps. Imagination is the architect, life is the builder. You see the end, you dwell in it, you feel the joy, the peace, the confidence of having already received. And then you trust, not with anxiety but with certainty. You know who you are, and who you are is one with the source of all things. You have waited for the world to give you a sign, but the world waits on you. You have stood at the edge of becoming, hesitant, asking whether the time is right, but there is no other time. This is it. Now is always the appointed hour. Now is the doorway to every possibility, and you enter not with effort, but with assumption, with bold inner agreement that what you have seen within must appear without. Do not consult the past to determine what is possible. The past is not prophecy, it is a reflection of who you were. But you are not bound to remain that version. You are free to shift, to select, to become. And as you do, the future bends to meet you in your new form. You are not the product of your history, you are the product of your imagination. And your imagination is limitless. There are no degrees of difficulty in this law. It is as easy to imagine a castle as a cup of water. The law does not distinguish. It only asks, do you believe? Are you willing to feel it as real now? Are you willing to release your grasp on the visible and embrace the invisible with greater trust than you've ever given to anything before? That is the path. That is the way. When you shift your attention from what is to what you choose, you shift your state. And when you dwell in a new state, you become a new version of yourself. And that self lives in a different world. You think it's the same earth, the same space, the same life, but it is not. It is a parallel reality, called forth by your assumption, governed by your conviction, made manifest by your feeling. Others will not understand. They will ask how you did it. They will call it luck, fate, divine intervention. Let them. Your task is not to convince the world. Your task is to be the proof, to live so fully in your new identity that the old dissolves behind you like smoke, to become so stable in your assumption that no doubt, no delay, no contradiction can uproot you. And when you see the shift, when the outer begins to match the inner, do not marvel, do not be surprised, simply say, of course. Of course the world changed. Of course the people responded. Of course the thing came to pass, because I accepted it within, because I saw, felt it, lived it, believed it, believed it. Before a single thing moved outside me. So you are not discovering your destiny, you are creating it. You are not waiting for the stars to align. You are the one aligning them by the power of your inner state. Let that knowing settle into your bones. Let it become your breath, your step, your word. Let it guide you in silence when the noise of doubt gets loud. Let it lead you when the way seems unclear. You are not walking in the dark. You are walking in the light of your own becoming. And that becoming does not happen someday. It happens now. This moment is the seed of every future you can imagine. Plant it wisely. Plant it deliberately. Plant it with faith. And water it with repetition, with inner vision, with gratitude for what is already yours in spirit. If you will only hold the vision, the path will appear. If you will only assume the state, the form will follow. If you will only stop waiting and start being, you will see how quickly the world responds. Because it is not the world that needs to change. It is you. And when you do, everything else must. You are standing at the edge of infinite possibility, and still the old voice tries to reason with you. It says, wait a little longer, be realistic, prepare more, ask again, but you must silence it now. That voice is the echo of an identity that no longer serves you. It speaks from memory, not truth. It speaks from fear, not power. And your power does not reside in hesitating. It resides in your decision. You become by deciding, you shift by accepting, you manifest by surrendering, not to the world, but to the unseen reality that burns bright within you. When you feel yourself into the new state, when you think from the fulfillment, not toward it, then all things begin to take their rightful place around you, not because you demanded the world to change, but because you finally changed your center. So let the outer world argue, let the facts try to prove you wrong, let circumstances attempt to hold you back. They are only the residue of past belief, the shell of an old reality that is no longer alive unless you choose to reanimate it with attention. What you feed with awareness grows. What you ignore dissolves. You must now stop watering what you no longer wish to harvest. You do not need to overcome the world. You need only overcome your own doubt. You do not need to fix what is out there. You need only revise what you have accepted in here. The within rules the without. The invisible births the visible. Consciousness shapes form. Every time, without exception. There is no power outside of you that can determine your path without your consent. You may not have chosen every experience, but you are always choosing your interpretation of it. And in that interpretation lies the key to transformation. Do you see delay, or do you see preparation? Do you see rejection, or do you see redirection? Do you see failure, or do you see feedback? The lens you wear is the life you live. If you would change your world, you must first change your stance toward it. Stop waiting for the world to become what you desire. Let your inner world become it first, and the outer will follow like a shadow. Nothing moves in your experience unless you first move in consciousness. Everything is drawn to you by the vibration of your assumption. When you declare, I am, you are making the most powerful statement a being can make. You are not describing yourself, you are creating yourself. And the universe rushes to fill in the details. Whatever follows, I am, becomes the blueprint for your experience. Say it wisely, say it boldly, say it as one who understands the weight of that power. I am ready. I am chosen. I am successful. I am loved. I am wealthy. I am whole. These are not empty affirmations. They are creative acts. Spoken with conviction, imagined with feeling, they are the seeds of worlds. Plant them again and again, and do not dig them up with doubt. Do not cancel them out with contradiction. Let them live, let them grow, let them become flesh. There is no virtue in waiting when you have already been given the power to become. Waiting is a symptom of disconnection from truth. It is a delay caused by the belief that something outside must happen before you can act. But all action begins within. And when you move inwardly, when you claim, accept, and feel the truth of your desire, the universe begins to move on your behalf. You do not need to see the whole staircase. You need only to dwell at the top. Feel yourself there. Sit in the completion. Breathe in the atmosphere of the fulfilled state. Live there in imagination until it becomes more real than what your senses tell you. Because the senses only confirm what you previously believed. But the imagination creates what you now believe. Your senses are not authorities, they are reporters. Do not wait for their confirmation before you choose to believe. Choose to believe, and then let the senses catch up, and they will, they always do. For the world is an obedient servant to the master of consciousness. Whatever you embody, you externalize. And whatever you persist in feeling as true must come into form. This is the key. Not the forceful wishing, not the anxious effort, but the quiet, persistent assumption, the feeling that what you desire is already yours, that you are already the one you seek to become, that you are not journeying toward it, you are journeying from it. And from that state, everything flows. You do not change your life by doing more, you change your life by being more, being differently, being consciously. What are you being in your imagination each day? That is your true prayer, that is your secret temple, that is your creative center. Enter it often, dwell in it deliberately, do not visit the state of your desire, move in, let it be your dwelling place. You are not defined by your current circumstances unless you agree to be. You are not shaped by the facts unless you yield to them. You are shaped by what you accept as true in your own heart. And truth in this law is not what the world tells you. Truth is what you decree in imagination with conviction. That is what the world will echo. That is what must become flesh. So stop postponing the miracle of your own becoming. Stop consulting doubt. Stop rehearsing limitation. You are not here to survive by default. You are here to create by design. Begin now. Begin not with effort, but with decision. Choose now to see yourself as already there, already living it. Let the vision possess you so completely that no evidence to the contrary can shake you. Let your inner speech reflect your new identity. Speak to yourself as the one who already is. Let your thoughts form the atmosphere of the fulfilled state. Let your inner world overflow with conviction until it spills into the outer in perfect form. You are the seed, the soil, the sun, the rain. You are the entire process of becoming. And you are never more powerful than when you stop waiting and start living from the end. That is the secret. That is the law. That is the invitation, eternal and ever present. The time is now. There is no more waiting, no more hoping, no more wishing. You have everything you need within you to create the life you desire. The only thing standing between you and your fulfillment is the choice to believe in your own power, to step fully into the person you are destined to become, and to walk in the certainty of that truth. You are not here by accident. You are not waiting for something outside of you to change. The change is already within you. It has always been there. It is time to stop looking for approval from the world and start creating from within. So, stand in your truth, claim your vision, and walk boldly in the assumption that it is already done. The universe will respond, and the world will shift to reflect the state you have already assumed. You are the creator, the author of your story, the master of your fate. The power to become is yours. The time to begin is now. Stop waiting, start becoming. Imagination is not just a whimsical escape from reality, it is, in fact, the blueprint that constructs the world we live in. Every invention, every piece of art, and every transformation begins as a spark in the human mind, a vision formed through imagination. Your life, too, is the product of what you imagine. The circumstances you face, the achievements you experience, and even the struggles you encounter are born from the beliefs and images you hold within your mind. The reality you inhabit today was first shaped in the quiet recesses of your imagination. It is the foundation upon which your experiences rest, and by harnessing it with intention and clarity, you hold the power to change not only your present but also your future. The world as you know it begins in your mind. What you imagine, you create. Imagination is more than just a passing thought or a mental escape. It is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. Everything you experience, everything you see around you, first began as an image in your mind. Whether you realize it or not, your imagination is constantly shaping the world you inhabit. It operates as a blueprint, creating the conditions and circumstances that reflect what you think and believe most deeply. This is why understanding the power of imagination is so crucial. It is the gateway to transforming your reality. When you look around at the world, you might think that it is fixed, that circumstances are beyond your control. But this belief is an illusion. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror of your inner world, specifically the images you continuously entertain in your mind. These images, fueled by emotion, gradually take form and manifest as tangible experiences in your life. If you want to change your outer reality, you must first change the images you hold within. Imagination is limitless. It transcends the boundaries of logic, time, and space. In the realm of imagination, you are not constrained by what is considered possible or realistic. Instead, you are free to create, to envision anything and everything. This is why imagination is the blueprint for reality. It gives you the ability to shape your life in ways that defy ordinary expectations. The key, however, is not just to imagine idly, but to direct your imagination consciously toward the life you wish to live. The greatest discoveries and achievements in history were not brought into being by those who accepted reality as it was. Rather, they were made by individuals who imagined something different, something greater, and believed it was possible. They understood that imagination, when combined with belief, creates a force powerful enough to shape reality. What you imagine with conviction is what you bring into existence. But imagination by itself is not enough. You must cultivate the feelings and emotions associated with the reality you desire. This is where the concept of living in the end comes into play. To truly harness the power of your imagination, you must not only visualize your desired outcome, but also feel as though it has already come to pass. This feeling of the wish fulfilled is what bridges the gap between imagination and reality. It aligns your inner state with your external experience, bringing about the changes you seek. Many people believe that hard work, effort, and determination are the only paths to success. While these qualities are certainly valuable, they are not the most important factors in creating your reality. Imagination is far more powerful than sheer willpower because it bypasses the limitations of the physical world. When you rely solely on willpower, you are often met with resistance both from within and from the world around you. But when you use your imagination, you access a higher level of creativity and inspiration that allows you to overcome obstacles without struggle. Imagination opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. It creates opportunities where none seem to exist. It allows you to envision possibilities beyond what is currently visible or tangible. Through imagination, you can create new pathways, attract people and resources, and bring your deepest desires to life. You are not limited by your present circumstances because imagination operates in the realm of infinite potential. Doubt and fear are the greatest enemies of imagination. When you allow negative thoughts to cloud your mind, they weaken the images you hold within, making it more difficult for your desires to manifest. Doubt tells you that your vision is too far-fetched, that you are asking for too much, that it is impossible. But doubt is merely a product of your past experiences, which have no bearing on your future unless you allow them to. Imagination is always stronger than doubt, because it taps into the infinite possibilities of creation. When doubt arises, it is essential to shift your focus back to the vision of your desired outcome. The more you can immerse yourself in the feeling of having already achieved what you want, the more quickly you will see it reflected in your outer reality. One of the most effective ways to maintain a strong connection to your vision is through daily imaginative practice. Just as you would exercise your body to stay in shape, your imagination must be exercised to remain sharp and effective. Each day, take time to visualize your desired reality in vivid detail. Feel the emotions associated with that reality. Experience the joy, the satisfaction, and the fulfillment of having already achieved your goals. The more consistently you practice this, the more naturally it will come to you, and the more quickly your outer world will begin to shift. Imagination is not bound by time. What you visualize today may not materialize instantly, but rest assured it is already in the process of becoming. The seeds you plant in your imagination will grow, sometimes in ways you cannot yet foresee. Trust the process. Trust that what you desire is already on its way to you. When you live from the end, when you consistently imagine yourself as the person you wish to be, your reality will begin to mold itself to match that vision. Patience and persistence are essential in this process. Too often people give up on their vision because they do not see immediate results. But remember, your outer world is a delayed reflection of your inner state. It takes time for your imagination to fully manifest in the physical realm. The key is to remain steadfast, to continue nurturing your vision with faith and certainty, even when it seems as though nothing is happening. You will see the evidence of your imagination come to life. You will notice that the people, circumstances, and opportunities you once envisioned are now part of your everyday reality. It may seem like coincidence or luck, but in truth, it is the result of your deliberate use of imagination. You have always had the power to shape your reality from within, and now by understanding and practicing this truth, you can create a life that reflects your highest desires. Conscious creation is the art of deliberately and intentionally shaping your reality through the power of your thoughts, beliefs, and imagination. Unlike passive existence, where life happens by default, conscious creation puts you in the driver's seat of your own experience. It allows you to direct the energy of your mind to bring forth the reality you desire. The essence of conscious creation is the realization that you are the creator of your life, that your inner world manifests into the outer world, and that by choosing your thoughts with intention, you can transform your entire existence. At the heart of conscious creation is the understanding that everything in your life is a reflection of your inner state. Whether you realize it or not, the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the emotions you feel are constantly shaping the circumstances and events you experience. Most people go through life unconsciously, reacting to whatever comes their way without understanding the power they hold within. They believe that life happens to them and they are powerless to change it. But conscious creation turns that idea upside down. It empowers you to realize that life is not something that happens to you, it's something you create from within. The first step in conscious creation is becoming aware of your thoughts and beliefs. Many of the thoughts that run through your mind on a daily basis are automatic and habitual, shaped by past experiences, cultural conditioning, and limiting beliefs. These unconscious thoughts often create a reality that is not aligned with your true desires. If you want to create the life you truly want, you must first become aware of the thoughts that are shaping your current reality. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about the world? What do I believe is possible for me? These beliefs are the foundation of your current reality, and they must be examined and transformed if you want to create something different. Once you become aware of your thoughts and beliefs, the next step is to consciously choose new ones that are in alignment with the reality you wish to create. This is where the power of imagination comes into play. Imagination allows you to see beyond your current circumstances and envision a new reality. It gives you the freedom to dream, to explore possibilities, and to create a mental picture of the life you desire. But imagination alone is not enough. You must also believe that what you imagine is possible for you. This requires a shift in mindset from doubt and limitation to faith and possibility. Faith is a crucial component of conscious creation. You must have faith in your ability to create the life you desire. This faith is not blind optimism or wishful thinking, but a deep inner knowing that you are a powerful creator. It is the belief that the universe is always working in your favor, and that whatever you can imagine is already in the process of becoming. Faith allows you to hold on to your vision, even when the physical world does not yet reflect it. It gives you the strength to continue creating consciously, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. Another essential aspect of conscious creation is the emotion you bring to your thoughts. It is not enough to simply think about what you want, you must feel it as though it is already yours. Emotion is the fuel that powers conscious creation. When you feel the emotions of having already achieved your desire, you align your inner state with the reality you wish to create. This emotional alignment is what brings your desires into physical form. The universe responds to your emotional state, not just your thoughts. When you feel joy, gratitude, and excitement about your desires, you are sending out a signal that attracts those experiences into your life. One of the biggest challenges people face in conscious creation is overcoming doubt and resistance. Doubt is a natural part of the process because your current reality may not yet reflect your desires. It can be difficult to believe in something that hasn't manifested yet, especially when the evidence around you seems to contradict your vision. But doubt is simply a product of your past conditioning, and it does not have to control your future. The key to overcoming doubt is to continue focusing on your desired reality, even when it seems far away. Trust that what you are creating is already in the process of becoming, even if you can't see it yet. Resistance often comes in the form of limiting beliefs and negative emotions. These are the internal blocks that prevent your desires from manifesting. For example, if you want to create financial abundance, but you have a deep-seated belief that money is hard to come by, this belief will create resistance and block the flow of abundance into your life. To overcome resistance, you must identify and release the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. This requires self-awareness and a willingness to let go of old patterns of thinking. As you release resistance, you create space for new possibilities to emerge. An important aspect of conscious creation is the idea of surrender. While it is essential to be clear about what you want and to focus on it with intention, it is equally important to surrender the how and when to the universe. Many people get caught up in trying to control every detail of how their desires will manifest, but this only creates tension and resistance. Surrendering means trusting that the universe knows the best way to bring your desires to fruition. It means letting go of the need to control the outcome and allowing the process to unfold naturally. When you surrender, you open yourself up to possibilities that you may not have considered and allow the universe to work its magic. Another key to conscious creation is consistency. Creating a new reality is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. You must consistently align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you wish to create. This requires daily practice and discipline. Each day, take time to focus on your desires. Visualize them as already accomplished and feel the emotions associated with their fulfillment. The more consistently you practice conscious creation, the more powerful your results will be. Conscious creation is also about taking inspired action. While your thoughts and emotions are powerful, they must be followed by action. But this action should not be forced or driven by fear. It should be inspired by the vision you hold in your mind. Inspired action feels natural and effortless. It is the kind of action that arises from a place of alignment with your desires. When you take inspired action, you are working in harmony with the universe, and things begin to flow more easily. In the process of conscious creation, it is important to stay open to the guidance of the universe. Sometimes the path to your desires may not look the way you expected, The universe has a way of delivering what you need in ways that you may not anticipate. This is why it is essential to stay flexible and open to the signs and synchronicities that show up along the way. Pay attention to the nudges and intuitive insights that come to you. They are often the universe's way of guiding you toward your desires. Imagination is the key to unlocking potential and manifesting desired outcomes. While willpower is often heralded as the driving force behind success, its power is limited compared to the boundless capabilities of imagination. Willpower focuses on sheer determination, discipline, and effort. It's about pushing through obstacles with force and grit. However, imagination transcends the need for brute force by allowing the mind to envision new possibilities, dream bigger, and tap into the vast creative energy within. Imagination creates a mental blueprint for what is desired and bypasses limitations, offering a more sustainable and effective path to success than relying solely on willpower. The reason imagination often surpasses willpower lies in the fundamental way both operate. Willpower, though effective in short bursts, requires constant effort and drains your mental and emotional reserves over time. It's like a muscle, use it too much, and fatigue sets in. This is why so many people struggle to maintain long-term discipline when trying to change their habits or achieve their goals. They burn out, lose motivation, and eventually give up. Imagination, on the other hand, is regenerative. It fuels you with inspiration and excitement, keeps your mind engaged, and makes the process of achieving your goals enjoyable rather than grueling. When you vividly imagine your desired outcome, you bypass the need for relentless discipline and tap into the deeper, more powerful part of your mind, the subconscious. The subconscious mind doesn't respond to willpower in the same way it responds to imagination. While willpower forces action from a conscious level, imagination works directly with the subconscious, which governs 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. When you use your imagination to vividly picture a goal, your subconscious starts to believe that it's already true, setting into motion a series of events and actions that align with that vision. This process is often described as the law of attraction, but it's more than just a passive act of wishing. When your subconscious mind fully believes in a vision, it aligns your actions, decisions, and even your environment in ways that make the vision a reality. In this way, imagination leverages the power of the subconscious mind far more effectively than willpower ever could. One key reason that imagination is so powerful is its ability to create emotional resonance with your desired outcome. Willpower often requires you to force yourself to do things you don't necessarily enjoy. It's the mental push you give yourself to work harder, stick to a diet, or grind through a project. But this creates resistance because on some level you're doing something that feels like a struggle. Imagination, on the other hand, makes the process exciting and enjoyable. By vividly imagining the outcome you desire, you generate feelings of joy, excitement, and anticipation. You start to associate positive emotions with your goal, rather than feelings of strain or resistance. This positive emotional energy is what draws your desires toward you and makes the journey toward your goals feel effortless. Imagination also allows you to move beyond the limitations of logic and reason. Willpower often keeps you tied to what seems realistic or achievable based on your current circumstances. You tell yourself, I can only achieve this if I work hard enough, if I sacrifice enough, if I put in enough hours. While this mindset can yield results, it is inherently limiting because it's bound by the present reality. Imagination frees you from these constraints. It allows you to dream of possibilities beyond your current circumstances, beyond what seems logically feasible. It opens the door to innovation, creativity, and unexpected solutions that willpower alone could never conceive of. Imagination is where breakthroughs happen. It's where new ideas, inventions, and realities are born. When you imagine something, you make it possible, even if it seems impossible based on your current situation. Imagination leads to a state of flow, where the effort becomes seamless and actions become intuitive. Willpower often demands that you grind through challenges, creating friction between your goals and the actions required to achieve them. This approach can lead to stress, fatigue, and a sense of struggle. But when you engage your imagination, you tap into a flow state where your actions feel natural and almost effortless. You get into a rhythm where ideas and solutions come to you more easily. You're no longer fighting against the tide, you're moving with it. This state of flow is where true progress happens without the burnout associated with willpower-driven efforts. Willpower relies heavily on control and force, while imagination works through attraction and inspiration. Willpower tries to control circumstances through sheer determination, often creating resistance both internally and externally. You may encounter obstacles or setbacks, and when driven solely by willpower, you'll try to bulldoze through them. But this approach can leave you drained and frustrated, especially if things don't go as planned. Imagination, on the other hand, attracts circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your vision. Instead of forcing your way through obstacles, you find that the path opens up more easily because you're operating in a state of alignment. You're no longer fighting against external conditions. Instead, you're working with the universe to bring your vision into reality. Imagination also allows you to tap into a wider spectrum of possibilities. Willpower can be rigid and focused on a singular outcome or goal, often leading to tunnel vision. You become so fixated on a specific path or result that you miss other opportunities that may be even better. Imagination, by contrast, opens up the space for endless possibilities. It allows you to explore different avenues, entertain new ideas, and adjust your goals as needed. It's a more flexible, creative, and adaptive approach to manifesting your desires. When you use your imagination, you stay open to the unexpected and remain adaptable to changing circumstances. This flexibility often leads to better outcomes than you initially envisioned. The role of imagination in shaping your identity is another critical aspect of its power. Willpower focuses on external actions and behaviors, what you do to achieve a goal. But imagination shapes who you are at your core. When you repeatedly visualize yourself achieving a goal, you begin to internalize that image. You start to see yourself as the person who has already accomplished that goal, and you begin to act in ways that align with this new identity. This internal shift is far more powerful than simply forcing yourself to take action through willpower. When you change your self-image through imagination, your actions naturally follow. You no longer have to push yourself to work hard or stay disciplined. It becomes a part of who you are. Imagination also gives you the freedom to explore your desires without the constraints of external judgment or limitations. Willpower often comes with a sense of obligation or pressure, either from yourself or others. You feel the need to achieve a goal because you believe you should or because society expects it. But imagination allows you to explore your true desires without the weight of obligation. It lets you dream freely and connect with what you genuinely want, rather than what you think you should want. This connection to your authentic desires is what makes the process of achieving them so much more fulfilling and meaningful. Living in the end is a powerful concept that reshapes how we approach our desires, goals, and dreams. At its core, it's the idea of embodying the state of having already achieved what we want, long before it has physically manifested in our reality. Instead of waiting for the external world to confirm our success or desires, we mentally, emotionally, and spiritually live as though those desires are already fulfilled. This approach fundamentally changes our perception of life and creates a shift in our energy that aligns with our dreams, accelerating their manifestation. When we live in the end, we bypass the uncertainty, doubt, and fear that often accompany our pursuits. Usually people operate from a mindset of "I will be happy" when they put their happiness and sense of fulfillment on hold, awaiting external conditions to align with their desires. Living in the end disrupts this conditional approach. Instead, it calls on you to feel and act as if you have already attained what you seek. By doing so, you bring the emotional and mental state of fulfillment into the present moment, collapsing the gap between desire and realization. The power of living in the end lies in its ability to align your inner world with your desired outcome. It's not just about pretending or wishful thinking, it's about truly feeling the emotions, adopting the mindset, and embodying the energy of someone who already has what they want. This creates a profound shift in your vibration and consciousness. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions begin to align with your desired reality, making it much more likely that you'll take inspired steps toward that goal. Our beliefs shape our reality, and living in the end rewires those beliefs. When we focus on what we lack or what we don't yet have, we reinforce the reality of lack. If you constantly think, I don't have enough money, I'm not successful, or I haven't found love, your subconscious mind absorbs these thoughts and reinforces them as truths in your life. But when you shift to living in the end, you replace those limiting beliefs with new ones. I am abundant, I am successful, I am loved. These new beliefs signal to your subconscious that your desired outcome is already your truth, and the subconscious begins to act accordingly. Living in the end is not about ignoring reality or denying the present circumstances. Instead, it's about choosing to focus on the internal experience of already having your desire fulfilled, which influences your perception of external circumstances. For example, if you're working toward financial abundance but are currently struggling, living in the end means cultivating the feelings of financial freedom now. It means making decisions as someone who is financially abundant. This shift in mindset transforms the way you handle money, opportunities, and even challenges, ultimately guiding you toward the financial reality you want to create. Another critical aspect of living in the end is the importance of faith. It requires trusting the unseen and believing in the power of your imagination and intention. Often people lose faith when they don't see immediate results or when external conditions seem unchanged. Living in the end requires persistence, even when the physical evidence hasn't yet caught up with the inner vision. The physical world is simply a reflection of your past thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. It may take time for your new mental state to manifest outwardly, but by consistently living in the end, you hold fast to your desired reality and trust that it will materialize in due time. The process of living in the end also helps eliminate the resistance that often blocks the manifestation of our desires. Resistance comes in many forms: doubt, fear, impatience, and attachment to specific outcomes. When you're attached to how or when something will manifest, you create tension and anxiety. But living in the end releases that attachment because you're already living as though your desire has been fulfilled. There's no need to worry about how it will come to pass because in your mind it already has. This relaxed state of certainty removes the resistance and allows the universe to flow more freely, delivering the desired outcome in the best possible way. Living in the end also shifts the focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. Often people chase goals because they seek validation from others or society. They want to prove themselves or gain recognition for their achievements. But living in the end shifts the emphasis from external approval to internal satisfaction. When you already feel successful, loved, or abundant within yourself, there's no need for outside validation. This inner fulfillment radiates outward, attracting the external success that matches your inner state of being. It's a powerful way to break free from the cycle of seeking approval and instead create a life that is truly aligned with your deepest desires. In essence, living in the end is about becoming the version of yourself who has already achieved what you want. It's about embodying that future self, now thinking like them, feeling like them, and acting like them. This creates a vibrational match with the reality you want to create, drawing it into your experience. By living in the end, you transform your relationship with time, desire, and action. You're no longer waiting for external circumstances to change, you're creating those changes from within. It's also important to remember that living in the end requires patience and persistence. You may not see immediate changes in your external world, and that's okay. The key is to maintain your internal state of fulfillment and trust the process. Doubt may creep in at times and challenges may arise, but by continually returning to the feeling of already having what you want, you strengthen your alignment with that reality. This concept can be applied to any area of life, whether it's love, career, health, or personal growth. If you desire a loving relationship, live as though you're already in that relationship. Cultivate feelings of love, appreciation, and connection within yourself. If you desire career success, live as though you've already achieved it. Think, feel, and act like the successful version of yourself. In doing so, you bring the energy of your desired outcome into the present moment and the universe responds accordingly. Living in the end is about trusting the power of your imagination and belief. It's about realizing that your internal state creates your external reality. By embodying the emotions, thoughts, and mindset of someone who already has what they desire, you draw that reality to you. It's not a passive act of wishing, but an active process of becoming the person you need to be to attract the life you want. Overcoming doubt is one of the most crucial steps in manifesting your desires and living in alignment with your goals. Doubt acts as a barrier between your current reality and the future you wish to create. It whispers thoughts of uncertainty, telling you that what you desire may not be possible, that you are not worthy, or that the steps you are taking won't lead to the outcome you seek. In order to manifest the life you want, overcoming doubt is essential, because doubt not only weakens your belief in yourself, but also signals to the universe that you don't truly believe in your desires. Doubt often stems from past experiences, failures, or disappointments. When something didn't work out the way you had hoped, it can plant a seed of uncertainty in your mind. This seed can grow into a full-blown belief system where you expect things not to go your way. The key to overcoming doubt is recognizing that your past does not define your future. Every moment is a new opportunity to create a different outcome, and holding on to past failures only perpetuates a cycle of self-doubt. One of the most effective ways to overcome doubt is through self-awareness. You need to become conscious of the moments when doubt creeps into your thoughts. Pay attention to the inner dialogue that questions your abilities or dismisses your dreams as unrealistic. These thoughts often occur subconsciously, and they can influence your actions and emotions without you even realizing it. By becoming aware of these thoughts, you can start to challenge them. To challenge doubt, you must replace it with thoughts of certainty, trust, and faith in your vision. This doesn't mean you should deny the presence of doubt altogether, acknowledging it as part of the process, but rather, you must choose not to entertain it. Instead, replace doubtful thoughts with empowering ones. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "What if this doesn't work out?" replace it with, "I trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good." This shift in mindset helps you redirect your focus from fear to faith. Another important aspect of overcoming doubt is building a strong belief in yourself and your ability to manifest your desires. Doubt often arises from a lack of confidence or a sense of unworthiness. You may doubt your ability to create the life you want, because deep down, you don't feel deserving of it. Overcoming this form of doubt requires inner work to build self-worth and a belief that you are worthy of your desires. This can be achieved through affirmations, self-love practices, and surrounding yourself with positive influences that reinforce your sense of worthiness. Visualization is another powerful tool in overcoming doubt. When you visualize your desired outcome, you immerse yourself in the feeling of already having achieved it. This creates a sense of certainty within you because your mind begins to accept the imagined outcome as a real possibility. Visualization helps you bypass doubt by allowing you to experience the emotions of success, fulfillment, and happiness in the present moment. The more you practice visualizing your desired reality, the less room doubt has to take hold. Living in the present moment also helps in overcoming doubt. Often doubt arises when we project our fears into the future, worrying about things that haven't happened yet. We start imagining all the ways things could go wrong, and this feeds our doubt. By grounding yourself in the present moment and focusing on what you can do right now, you reduce the power of these future-based fears. You can't control everything that happens in the future, but you can control your thoughts, emotions, and actions in the present moment. When you focus on the now, doubt loses its grip because it thrives on future uncertainties. Another strategy for overcoming doubt is to take small, consistent actions toward your goals. Doubt often paralyzes people into inaction because the gap between where they are and where they want to be seems too vast. But by breaking your goals down into smaller, manageable steps, you can build confidence with each action. Every small win adds to your belief in your ability to achieve your larger goals, and this gradually diminishes doubt. The more you see progress, the less room doubt has to exist. Surrounding yourself with positive, like-minded people is also essential for overcoming doubt. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your beliefs and attitudes. If you spend time with people who constantly doubt their own abilities or criticize your dreams, it becomes much harder to overcome your own doubt. Conversely, when you're surrounded by individuals who believe in themselves and support your vision, their energy lifts you up and reinforces your belief in your abilities. Seek out a supportive community or mentors who have already achieved what you aspire to and can offer guidance and encouragement. It's important to recognize that doubt is a natural part of the human experience, especially when you're aiming to achieve something significant. Everyone experiences doubt at some point, and it's okay to feel uncertain or fearful. The difference lies in how you respond to that doubt. Successful people don't let doubt control their actions or derail their progress. Instead, they acknowledge it, understand it, and move forward despite it. Overcoming doubt doesn't mean it will never appear again, but it does mean that you won't allow it to dictate your actions. In moments when doubt feels overwhelming, remind yourself of past achievements. Reflect on times when you overcame challenges or succeeded despite initial uncertainty. This serves as a powerful reminder that you are capable of more than you may realize. Every time you face doubt and move forward anyway, you strengthen your resilience and your ability to navigate future uncertainties. Another critical component in overcoming doubt is trusting the process. Manifestation and personal growth often take time, and it's easy to doubt when results aren't immediate. However, the universe operates in its own time, and the seeds you plant today may take time to bear fruit. When you trust that everything is unfolding as it should, you free yourself from the need for immediate validation. Trust that the actions you take, combined with your inner work, are moving you toward your desired outcome, even if you can't see the results yet. Overcoming doubt also involves letting go of the need for control. Often we doubt because we want to know exactly how and when things will happen. We crave certainty, and when we don't have it, doubt creeps in. Letting go of the need for control allows you to trust in the flow of life. You may not have all the answers, and that's okay. What matters is that you maintain your belief in your vision and stay committed to your path, even when the path is unclear. Sustained imagination is the practice of consistently holding a clear and vivid mental picture of your desires until they manifest into reality. It is the continuous, deliberate use of your imagination to shape your circumstances, experiences, and future. While many people may experience fleeting moments of imagination or daydreams, sustained imagination goes beyond this. It is the persistent focus on a desired outcome, accompanied by the emotions and sensations of having already achieved it, until that vision is realized in the physical world. Imagination is a powerful tool, but its true potential is often untapped because most people don't hold on to their visions long enough for them to manifest. Sustained imagination requires mental discipline, a high level of focus, and the belief that what you imagine can indeed become your reality. It's not just about daydreaming or wishful thinking, it's about consistently dwelling in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, despite any external circumstances that may seem contradictory. This practice bridges the gap between the unseen, imagined world and the physical, experienced world. To understand the power of sustained imagination, it is important to first realize that the mind is the origin of all creation. Every innovation, discovery, or achievement in human history began as a thought, an idea that someone imagined and held on to until it became reality. Whether it's a work of art, a technological advancement, or a personal achievement, imagination precedes creation. Sustained imagination works in the same way. The longer and more vividly you can hold on to your vision, the more likely it is to come into being. The key to sustained imagination is not just visualizing your desired outcome once or twice, but consistently revisiting and reinforcing that mental picture. This involves regularly immersing yourself in the scene of your wish fulfilled, feeling the emotions of success, joy, or fulfillment as if your desire is already present. When you practice this regularly, your mind begins to accept the imagined reality as a fact. Over time, your subconscious mind aligns your actions, decisions, and perceptions with this new reality, guiding you toward the physical manifestation of your desire. One of the most important aspects of sustained imagination is emotion. It's not enough to simply picture your desire, you must feel as though it is already yours. Emotions are the fuel that powers the creative process. When you engage your emotions during your imaginative exercises, you strengthen the connection between your inner vision and the external world. The more vividly you can imagine and feel the experience of your desire fulfilled, the more powerful your sustained imagination becomes. This is because the subconscious mind responds more to emotions than to logic or reasoning. By feeling your desired outcome as though it is already true, you imprint that belief into your subconscious, which in turn influences your actions and circumstances to align with your vision. Maintaining sustained imagination can be challenging because of the distractions and doubts that inevitably arise. Life's external circumstances often conflict with our inner visions, causing us to lose focus or question the possibility of our desires. To overcome these challenges, you must learn to ignore the evidence of your senses when they don't align with your desired outcome. This is where the discipline of sustained imagination truly comes into play. Even if your current reality contradicts what you are imagining, you must remain steadfast in your vision. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to hold on to your imagination, despite external conditions. Another crucial element of sustained imagination is consistency. This means engaging in the process daily, making it a habitual part of your life. You can set aside specific times for visualization, such as during meditation, before bed, or upon waking. These are times when your mind is naturally more receptive to suggestion, and your imagination can operate more freely, without the interference of everyday distractions. By committing to a regular practice of sustained imagination, you reinforce your desires and keep them active in your mind. Sustained imagination also involves having patience and trust in the process. Manifestation often takes time, and the results of your imagination may not appear immediately. It's important not to become discouraged if you don't see instant changes in your external reality. Understand that there is a natural gestation period for everything, and your desires will manifest in their own time. Trust that your sustained imagination is working, even if you can't see the evidence right away. Impatience or frustration can weaken the effectiveness of your imaginative efforts, so maintaining faith in the process is essential. In addition to trust and patience, another key component of sustained imagination is the ability to let go of the how and when it is not your job to figure out exactly how your desires will come to fruition or when they will manifest. Your role is to maintain the vision and the feeling of your desire fulfilled. The universe or your subconscious mind will take care of the details. This can be difficult for those who are used to controlling every aspect of their lives. But letting go of the need for control is an important part of the process. When you release the how and when you open yourself up to possibilities and solutions that you may not have considered. Sustained imagination also requires resilience, as setbacks and obstacles are inevitable. There will be times when it seems like your desire is not manifesting, or when life throws challenges in your way. These moments test your faith and commitment to your vision. It is during these times that sustained imagination is most crucial. Rather than allowing doubt or frustration to take over, you must continue to hold on to your vision, trusting that the obstacles are temporary, and that your desired outcome is still within reach. By staying true to your imagination, even in the face of adversity, you demonstrate your belief in your vision's eventual manifestation. It's important to note that sustained imagination is not just about creating tangible results, such as material possessions or external success. It can also be used to create inner states of being, such as peace, happiness, and self-confidence. If you imagine yourself as calm, centered, and self-assured on a consistent basis, your inner world will begin to reflect those qualities, and over time they will manifest in your outer life as well. This is the true power of sustained imagination. It allows you to shape not only your external circumstances, but also your internal reality.